I'm actually on a quest. Jim Profit is going to end world hunger. And do you know how? When you I guess you buy a banquet TV dinner, you see here how it says childhungerenshere.com. You put in a code, and for every one of these banquet TV dinners you buy, it feeds a child somewhere. They donate $1 for every, I guess, couple dollars they get of that. I don't know about the technicals. I don't care. The point is that they're trying to reach a criteria of 5 million, and so far they have like 2.5 million. They don't give an exact number, but by the bar of 0 to 5 million, I'm estimating. My point is that, I eat a lot of these. Besides ramen, I like my TV dinners. And as I was putting a bunch of them in from the collection of empty TV dinner trays that I had, I discovered that the codes don't change. Like, one code is exactly as the other. Apparently they were too lazy to change the codes to ensure that, they were actually different people that purchased them. But this is an opportunity. This is an opportunity to just spam the shit out of that code and reach that 5 million number. That way 5 million children can be fed. Now mind you, I'm not a hacker. I don't know how to develop a script that can just repeatedly put in the code over and over again, so I will manually have to do it. But I can type pretty fast. I got nothing better to do, so I'm gonna spend my time typing in this fucking code and helping end world hunger. And meanwhile, capitalists say that communists are not, they really don't care about people, they're not compassionate, they're not considerate, they have no desire to really help people, they're just jealous of the rich, and they're lazy, blah blah blah. This will actually help people. This will actually help poor families. I've seen videos of what these families have to go through, and it's ironic that they feel so much shame for being poor. There's no shame in being poor. You didn't have the right opportunities, you didn't have the right environment, you didn't have the right school, you didn't have the right anything. From the moment you were born, you're pretty much predestined to be what you are. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing this for the children. I'm not doing this for the poor. I mean, that's a good byproduct of it, but I look deeper than that. This is about principle. This is about the idea that human beings are not, predestined to be failures and to be poor and to be impoverished and to be suffering. If there's even the slight inclination that you can change human beings and the environment as a whole just by your sheer willpower, then anything is possible. That is worth contributing to. That is worth trying to do. It isn't about being charitable. It isn't about fairness. Those are good qualities. Those are good ideas and principles to uphold, but it's more than that. It's the idea of alchemy. It's the idea of masonry. It's the idea of, if you can change something, you should change something. Because the world as it is now, as it is today, is shit. And if you can transform it, then maybe it won't be such shit. Maybe it will be shit. Maybe it'll just be green-colored shit instead of brown shit. But if you can change the color of the shit, then it's easier to suggest that you can change it into something better, like cherry pie. That's what I'm trying to say. I don't know how to word this very well because, I didn't pre-plan what I was going to say here. But essentially what I'm saying is that chaos is the great equalizer. Chaos is the theory of everything is not stagnant. We have to fight against entropy. We have to fight against this idea that this is just our lot in life and let's learn to accept it. That's what capitalism wants us to do. Capitalism wants us to just accept the fact that we're poor, accept the fact that we're undereducated and that we're unappreciated, accept the fact that capital owners get to walk all over us and pay us chicken feed, just accept the fact that fucking moderators get to ban you even though they're sociopaths and fucking out of their mind and not fit to govern anybody, anywhere, anytime, but meanwhile they get to tell you what to do and stop you from talking to your friends and talking to your family and doing all this shit and basically isolating you from society because it's their forum. All of that you just have to learn to accept. That's your lot in life. You're a nigger. Learn to deal with it. No, that's not what I'm about. That's not what my principles are about. And that's why I'm doing this. I'm not doing it for the fucking children. I'm doing it for the sake of the idea that man's mind can change the world. Just his mind. Just the idea of visualizing something different. And then minor details here and there can change the entire way we look at things and change the world as we know it. It's almost as if I could wave my hand like a Jedi mind trick and we live in a parallel universe. A universe just like ours physically, but everything else is different. Different presidents were elected. Different things happened. The laws are different. And, everything is changed, and hopefully for the better. I began to come to this philosophy years ago when I saw Ashton Kutcher's Butterfly Effect. Now I know the Butterfly Effect doesn't really work that way. It doesn't work in the way it did in the movie where he altered one little thing and suddenly his entire life is different. The Butterfly Effect is more of a quantum physics mechanic where it shows that variables are always different, that you can get two things of the exact same type and they will become different due to the law of nature and chaos, but not as radically different as suggested in Ashton Kutcher's Butterfly Effect. But the point is, if you personally, as a sentient being, can manipulate that chaos and cause those minor and radical changes, then all things are possible. And if all things are possible, why not make the good possible? Why not make positive changes, rather than accepting negative consequences and accepting negative changes? There's enough negativity already. It is time for positive. It is time for good to triumph. It is time for justice, egalitarianism, equality, fairness, and truth, honesty, whatever touchy-feely words you want to give it. It is time for righteousness to prevail. And the only way we're going to do that is by thinking about that philosophically. The only way we're going to do that is by realizing that there is no Santa Claus, there is no Christ that is going to come and make the world better. You have to make it better. And if that means collectivizing the means of production, if that means becoming socialist, and that means forcing people to give up their money to redistribute the wealth, then do it. So, that's all I have to say.